So, here's a quick magic trick. See, nothing's on off. Oh. I hate beeps.
We've come a long, long way. I'm not afraid any longer. We've come a long, long way. Our love is getting stronger. We've come a long, long way, and the future's looking brighter. We've come a long, long way. Our love is so much tighter.
Hi, welcome back to my vlog. So you're probably wondering where we are right now. Well, we decided to take a little trip for the day and we ended up here. Where's here? Oh, it's a little building in Cupertino. It was groundbroken in 2011 and brought open in 2017. Some of the world's most innovative projects have been launched from this place and advertised from the same in a theater down the street. So, where are we? Well, those of you who already have an iPhone, a Mac, an Apple Watch, any of these devices pretty much knows where I am. We are at Apple's world headquarters. The building right there is a giant circle, almost 1 meter in diameter. And it was just built within 3 years. It is also the location of the Steve Jobs Theater right over there. And what happens there? That's where they announce all the new products 3 to 4 times a year, depending on what convention is going on. So this is Cupertino. Right down the street is the old Apple building called Infinite Loop. The exact mailing address was 1 Infinite Loop. But now this is Apple. And now over here, this is the visitor center. Right there it has an exact model replica of the campus that we are currently standing on. And they will let you use mini iPads so you could use artificial reality. So you could see what the building looks like instead of just in a small model. You could actually see up close what the building looks like.
Scaled down for this model. So it's a nice close look at
And right there, that is an Apple store of all places. And over there is a cafe where you can get really cool free water. Did I lose something? I don't know what I was supposed to know about this, but allegedly right in there, that's Tim Cook's office. Tim Cook, the CEO of Apple. Just past his office is a huge reflective pool that is supposed to be the view from his office, and he requested specifically. If you're wondering where the profits of Apple go, if you're wondering, hey, why did I buy that Apple Watch? Why did I buy that iPhone? Why did I buy that Mac? Why did I buy that Airbook? This is where the money goes. Anyway, one last thing I wanted to say about Apple computers. I am not sponsored by them. I've been using their products for many years, but I don't get any kickbacks, any money, anything from Apple computers. I would love some, but I just think that they're a great company. A couple days ago was Earth Day, and I'm a very strong believer in the environment. One of Apple's core goals that they set out last year was they want to try to recycle as many old computers or old Apple computers that are no longer in use to benefit the environment by using the parts again for newer computers. Right now I believe they are at 99.4% of every computer can be reused to build a new computer. And that's pretty amazing. And one other thing about this Apple campus that's amazing is that it has over 100% sustainable energy, meaning every bit of energy that the company uses comes from the solar panels that are placed strategically all over the building. And you're probably asking, why over 100%? They produce so much energy that their company doesn't use it. And they end up selling it back to the energy companies of the greater Silicon Valley, so there is more energy to be found. Anyway, Apple, thank you and happy Earth Day to you. Yeah, I do look a little bit different. I put new gel in my hair. Oh, this. Yeah, I'll get to that in a minute. So I'm going to an audition right now. Let me, So today's, lesson today is about auditioning. Not about how to, but the kinds of auditions. There are 5 kinds of auditions. The general basic one, the pre-read, which is what I'm going to and I will explain about in a minute. The callback, which is pretty much used in commercials mostly. That's when people are, when you pass the first audition and they want to see you again, sometimes again and again and again, in nauseam. Then they also have something that's very similar. The last 2 are called the test or the studio test. There's a slight difference between them, but they're very similar. It's just if you were going to be cast in a project for long term, they want to make sure that 1, the studio approves of you, and 2, then they check to make sure that you have chemistry with your fellow act. I'm sure that if I was doing a scene with Jennifer Lawrence, it would be different than if I was doing a scene with Mila Kunis, for example. Just because they are different people, and I would be doing a different role with them than Brad Pitt because of who I am. So it's chemistry. It's kind of like dating, I guess, but you just want to find out to see how people can react with each other. Those are the 2, test and network test. Most people go to the general audition. Those are for the very basicest of first-time meetings. Well, not even that. Well, they're for just trying to cast a part. They're very general. The one I'm going to is called a pre-read. The pre-read is for casting directors who don't necessarily know the actor or such, and this is our way of getting to know each other. I'm going in to read a part, and most likely I won't get the part, but this is their chance to see what I can do. Maybe my demo reel wasn't as full as this casting director would have liked, or they just don't know what I'm able to do. So that's what pre-reads are mostly for. So yeah, there's a very, very good chance that I'm not going in, but if they like me, they can remember me and they can continue on from there. So it's kind of more it's more like a proactive kind of audition. You'll have a chance of getting the part, but the odds are even more than normal against it. So I'm just happy that in case a production company, a producer, a casting director remembers me, that I can be cast for something additional. You're wondering about that outfit right now. Well, I'm auditioning to be a grumpy Santa's helper. The role is for a guy who is supposed to be in his 50s. Hi, I'm nowhere near that. Well, not really. I'm kind of there. And I'm supposed to be really grumpy being a shopping mall Santa's helper. It's a sitcom. Again, I can't say anything because I don't want to say too much, but it's a funny scene and it's a guest star role. Now, there are different kinds of roles. Extra, then the next thing are silent bit extras, which are featured extras that don't speak but have something like a funny bit or something that the director asked them to do. Then you go one giant step up to contract player. The low end on that is co-star. That means you probably have one line or you do something exceptional that the director wants you to do, something that will give you a contract, even if it's just for one episode, but then you're entitled to residuals. Extras are not entitled to residuals. Guest star. Huge jump yet again. Because guest star has more authority, more power, and more pay. Beyond that is recurring, which is just somebody who's a reoccurring guest star. Kind of like, for some reason, I can only think of David Koechner on The Office, how he always came back as the skeezy guy who was a friend of Michael Scott. And he was a guest star, but he kept on coming back as the same character over and over again. That happens sometimes. You get to be a regular. Normally when you, like I said, when you get cast to be a regular, the network is putting so much money into this project. They want to make sure that they like you. It's not just a matter of the casting director. It's not just a matter of the producer. Everybody has to like you in a long chain of succession, just to make sure that, hey, we're willing to put forth millions and millions of dollars on this series just because we believe that you can do this one role over and over and over again. I'm sure there's hundreds of acting books that go into greater detail, but that's just a rough idea of what's going on. Hopefully I could get into the casting director's mind and they will be able to cast me on future projects. Co-star is normally 1 or 2 bit parts, 1 or 2 line roles that normally is for an unestablished actor or somebody who they don't really know well, but still you audition with another 35 other people just to say 5 words or something. Yes, it literally is. You're going against 35 other people or such. That's how it is in commercials. They normally get 36 people in per role. TV shows are normally less, theoretically. It could be 6 to 10 of your type. Movies, when it's a big, juicy role in a movie or something, then they will see hundreds of people over the course of many days. And that, understandably, wears out the casting director. Because casting is such a long, drawn-out process that sometimes casting directors don't have more than 2 minutes to spend with you. That's understandable. If you had to see people over and over and over again ad nauseum, then you would probably be getting sick of seeing them too. And sometimes, and this is bizarre just for me, you see other people who are your type. Today probably will not be that case because when you look at me, you don't immediately think Santa's helper. You just see tall Asian. And so I'm used to going to auditions with a room full of Asians, about 20 of them, just waiting for the one, just to be able to say, hey, my mom said, or something like that, whatever the line is. And normally we are tall in our 30s, 40s. Normally I'm not going for a role for a 20-year-old or a 60-year-old, but just because. That's typecasting, but looking for a specific person, it's known as traditional casting, where they have, oh, we're looking for an Asian, we're looking for blah, blah, blah. The audition I'm going into today is non-traditional casting. That's why they will see an Asian Santa. I can't emphasize how cool it is, because 20 years ago, the only shows I probably would be cast for are like MASH, After MASH. Can't think of anything else Asian, but something that where they're specifically looking for an Asian. Now they're just looking for diversity, and that's a huge step forward. Sometimes it's not fast enough. Okay, keep in mind this: you are a casting director. You are auditioning chefs to work in a teppan table type restaurant like Benihana or such. Would you choose the 6'2", brown-haired, chiseled, muscular guy to be your Benihana chef? No, you would look for the thin, wafy-looking Asian guy. You don't necessarily think of women as Benihana chefs. You don't necessarily think of African Americans as Benihana chefs. But when you do, because I know there are plenty out there, when you start accepting them for who they are, that's where we need to get as casting. That's where we need to get. I am currently in Hollywood. I'm actually at the location where I used to work, KTLA, which is the CW affiliate in Los Angeles. Anyway, that right there is the high school. That used to be on Fox. They used to be the Fox Studios. But now it's a high school, and that used to be where they filmed locations for the TV show Glee. All the internals, all the inside shots at Paramount Pictures. I'm now on Sunset and with Bronson in Hollywood, and I'm going into the audition, so wish me luck. Okay, so audition is over. It went fine, I think. I will talk about it later if I do or don't get it. But now let's review where I was. I'm right now at the Home Depot on Hollywood Boulevard. No, sorry, Sunset Boulevard. And I wanted to... This has the best picture of where I was. No, it's over there. That right there used to be used to be a radio station back in the 1920s. I think it was the first radio station, and then it became the first TV station on the West Coast. Both of these were the first ones on the West Coast. They had a huge tower that they just took down a few years ago. It was turned into a TV station, I forget which one, but then it was purchased out by Tribune Entertainment of the Chicago Tribune family. From there, it became known as the KTLA Studios, where I worked for 2 years. And then from there, it's also they expanded a lot and started using different productions in the background, where they started filming Boy Meets World in the first 2 years, Judge Judy, game shows. A lot of game shows were filmed actually over there. Sometimes at the end of the credits of game shows, you see Sunset Bronson. Well, that's Sunset Bronson. This area, this building right here, was just built in the last 2.5, 3 years, and it is completely owned by Netflix. Yes, this is where your $8.95 a month goes to. But still, my favorite image is... That's another episode of my vlog. Thank you guys all for watching. If you want to get a hold of me, you could email me at askkyliequestion@gmail.com, one long word, or I'm reachable on the Instagram and on the Twitter at Kyle Isao, the socials at Kyle Isao. I should be back next week with another episode. Make sure you also like this episode, and also please follow me and get your friends to follow. I'm going to have a couple interesting interviews in the next couple of weeks, hopefully, knock on wood, and I would love to know what you guys think about them, so make sure you leave comments, and tell me if I need a new haircut. I think I do. That's just me. Anyway, have a great weekend, everybody. Have a great week, and happy Earth Day. And from Hollywood, that's a wrap. Those are my glasses. I feel like Velma from Scooby-Doo right now.